Hey guys, welcome back to Chetty and Lycan's Horror Party Massacre. I am out here waiting for my lovely wife to get off of work, and I thought, hey, what better time to do a little bit more terror on TUBI, or tubular TUBI movies, or maybe twosome TUBI. I don't know. But here's some more movies that I have recently watched on the great channel that is TUBI. First up, we have Hell Week, which, this movie's so forgettable, I don't remember what it's about. I remember I didn't really like it that much, and they really didn't do a whole lot with this movie to make it a Grindhouse edition. That's what I watched, was the Grindhouse edition. They threw a filter over the entire movie to make it look more beige than anything else. I do remember that. The basic plot, I don't think it really matters. You guys can check this one out, but I don't advise against. I advise against it. We also watched Billy Club, which sounds like it could be a cop drama. It looks like it could be a baseball slasher, and it is. It is a baseball attired killer. And you would think, Jesus Christ, baseball? That's horrible. If I'm going to watch baseball, I'm going to watch baseball. I'm not going to watch Billy Club. But surprisingly enough, Billy Club was a good flick. It is typical, as is most of the movies on this list, where there's something that happened way back when everyone was young and stupid and would pick on each other. It's featured around a group of friends who are on a baseball team, and they come back to the town for one reason or another. Probably because someone in the original group died, maybe? I don't recall exactly. But they come back together, and they get picked off one by one, until you have the very final showdown and confrontation. And this one actually was really good. I really enjoyed this one. The killer had a baseball bat as his primary killing tool, but he had nails through it and blades fastened to it. So it was really pretty cool. Pretty good little setup there. Enjoyed it. Die Delta Pi. I was so excited about this movie years ago. I found it at Meijer's around Halloween time in their special Halloween bit. Yes, there was a time where you could go into stores around Halloween and they would have horror movies that they brought in with their own special horror movie display just to sell horror movies for Halloween. I know they don't have it much anymore, but a couple years ago I found this movie there and I was so excited. And when me and Lycan sat down to watch it originally, man, we couldn't make it through the first 5 minutes. It was nothing but gratuitous nudity, full frontal nudity, and bad forcing the 80s down your throat dialogue. I mean, my Lord, I grew up in the 80s and I didn't know anyone that talked like this or used so many 80s cliche words in one sentence. It was horrible. But I decided to give it another chance when I seen it on Tubi. And if you can get past the first 10 minutes where it is all this 80s schlock of groovy and tubular and totally, then it's actually not a bad flick. We're going to stand up here for a minute. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's an independent movie, so it's not polished and primed, but there's nothing wrong with that. Acting, not the best I've ever seen, but it was watchable. I enjoyed it. It just, you got to get past that opening sequence to really get into this movie. We then have Cheerleader Sleepover Slaughter. You just figure by the name you're getting generic shit. And it was fairly generic. It was fairly standard of a slasher flick. Nothing really new to it. It was good. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say that I'll never watch it ever again. I would revisit it. It was enjoyable. What was neat about it is they actually did a call out in the movie and referenced Die Delta Pi. So that was kind of cool. It was done by two different guys, but the cheerleader that made reference to the killings in Die Delta Pi. So I enjoyed that part. That was a pretty neat little addition there. I'm amused by simple shit, you know. We then have Sorority Party Massacre. Typical for a massacre movie, but not quite what you would think. You would think it would take place at like a sorority house. This one takes place as a competition where the heads of select sororities all gather at this island to compete to become the national spokesperson for some sorority thing. I don't know. I don't understand the sorority shit. They explain it in the movie. I don't remember the specifics. Needless to say, it's 6 or 7 girls, and they start getting picked off one by one. This one, they're getting picked off by their great fears. And there's a cop on the island trying to figure out everything that's going on. Interesting little twist there. It's got the guy from, it's got the Iceman, or not really the Iceman. It's got one of the cops from 48 Hours and another 48 Hours in there as, again, a cop. Go figure. I guess he's good in that role. But it was a pretty decent flick. I would recommend checking it out. I wouldn't turn my nose up at it again. Furry Nights. And no, it is not a porn about the unshaven. It is a slasher flick of sorts that takes place in the woods. You've got a group of kids that go out to do their camping thing, and they're filming a horror flick out there. A very low-budget horror flick, as you'll see if you watch it. And they run across a group of furries. Furries are people that dress up in cartoonish looking animal costumes. Like a cartoon, like a Bugs Bunny type of cartoonish character. They were dressed up in stuff like that. They're like Easter Bunny outfit. They're dressed up like that. That's what they do. I don't know why, but that's what they do. So you got these two groups out there. You got the group of furries, and you got the group of kids filming their movie, and guess what happens? One of the kids accidentally kills one of the furries. He's out in the woods at night. He separated himself from the group. He goes to take a piss. Here's something in the woods. It must be an animal. And this animal jumps out at him and he kills it. And it turns out it's just a furry. It is a dude or a female. It could be a dude or dudette, dressed up in an animal costume that apparently this dude mistook for a real live attacking animal like a bear or some shit. So he kills one of them. And of course that leads us to dun dun dun, revenge from the furries as they stalk and kill off all of the young filmmakers that are filming this shitty horror movie whilst dressed in animal outfits. I don't know how this one got greenlit with that kind of plot synopsis, but it did. It's not real bad. I mean, again, none of these movies are stellar by any stretch of the imagination. None of them are great blockbusters. None of them are something that I would want to rush out and buy for $10. But they're not bad. I wouldn't throw them away if I owned them or take them off to sell them. Except for maybe Hell Week. I might do it on that one. The last one that we're going to talk about that I've watched within the past 2 or 3 weeks is a movie called Scared. Okay. Scared is, again, it's about a low-budget horror movie being filmed. And the cast of this horror movie at a studio or actual location, not out in the woods on shitty shit, but an actual, low-budget film, and the people start getting killed off. This one screams to me, well, actually, speaking of Scream, that's what it reeks of. It reeks of a Scream movie. It's like part 3 where it's all meta and shit, and it's filming a movie and having life imitate art type shit. In fact, the tagline that I seen is "Don't Scream." So, big time ripoff of the Scream franchise. It's not much to this movie. There was virtually no gore, certainly no nudity. I don't think there was hardly any cussing. There's not much really exciting about this one at all. Again, I sat through it. I didn't feel the urge to turn it off, but I did sit through it. Even if I did feel the urge to turn it off, I'm not going to turn any of these off because I want you to know what is available on Tubi and if it is worth seeking out. Are all of these movies worth seeking out here? Yeah, sure. If you got nothing better to do, if you got nowhere to go on a Friday night and you got some popcorn and beer, yeah, sure, why not? If you want to invite some friends over and dick around while this is playing in the background, yeah, sure. Do you want to pay big money for it? Do you want to go see it in the theater? Do you want to use it as date night? Probably not. But in any case, that's some more movies that I watched on Tubi. I've got 2 more of these videos already prepped and planned out for movies I've watched on Tubi. I'm going to start next week on Monday when I go back into work to watching more of these so that I can keep this series going. I hope you like this wham bam thank you ma'am rundown of terror on Tubi. If you like this video, hit the like button. Of course, as always, subscribe. And if you have by chance seen any of these movies, I thought that was someone in my back seat for a second. If you've seen any of these movies at all, what did you think? Am I off base with them? Did you like them? What's the deal here, kids? Hope you like this little video. Hope you stay up late tonight and watch some Tubi so you can stay spooky.
I like it spooky.
I want to thank you. Anything you want, you just name it.
It's starting to rain out, but that's okay. We got some rain coming down, so I'm just gonna go back to the car. Fuck it. Fucking rain, man. Well, the fucking rain has chased me off to the car.